In the Roman Republic's bustling first century, the grandeur of gladiatorial games captivated the masses, offering a spectacle of life and death. Gladiators, the stars of these brutal contests, were groomed in various training schools, or ludi, strategically scattered across Italy. These institutions, such as the one owned by Lentulus Batiatus in Capua, molded prisoners of war and condemned criminals into skilled combatants, destined to vie for survival in the arena. The year 73 BC marked a dramatic turn of events when approximately 200 gladiators from Batiatus's Capuan school hatched a daring plan to break free from their shackles. The plot, however, faced betrayal, leading to a tense confrontation. Undeterred, around 70 courageous individuals seized makeshift weapons, mere kitchen implements like choppers and spits, to forge a path to liberty. In a daring escape, they also laid claim to wagons laden with gladiatorial armaments. With newfound freedom, the fugitive gladiators, in a display of solidarity, elected leaders from their ranks. Two Gauls, Crixus and Oenomaus, alongside Spartacus, emerged as the chosen commanders. The enigmatic Spartacus, shrouded in mystery regarding his origin, either a Thracian auxiliary turned slave or a captive seized by the Roman legions, rose to prominence. The title Thracian might denote the gladiatorial combat style in which he excelled, adding a layer of ambiguity to his nationality. This intrepid band of escaped slaves, having triumphed over a meager force dispatched from Capua, not only secured their freedom, but also acquired military accoutrements from their fallen adversaries and retained their gladiatorial weaponry. The chronology of events post-escape is somewhat obscured in historical accounts. Yet, a consensus exists that the liberated gladiators, in a spree of rebellion, pillaged the vicinity of Capua, swelling their ranks with an influx of fellow slaves. Ultimately, they sought refuge in the formidable terrain of Mount Vesuvius, marking a strategic shift in their struggle for emancipation. Amidst the turmoil of revolt and raids in the affluent vacation region of Campania, drawing the attention of the influential elite in Rome, who considered it more of a crime wave than a full-fledged rebellion, the Roman authorities initially underestimated the gravity of the situation. In response to the escalating unrest, Rome dispatched a military force under the Praetorian authority, led by Gaius Claudius Glaber. The hastily assembled force of 3,000 men, not organized as legions but more akin to a militia, reflected Rome's initial perception of the conflict as more of a raid than a war. Glaber's strategy involved besieging the slaves on Mount Vesuvius, effectively blocking their only known descent route. The plan was to wait patiently, anticipating that starvation would eventually compel the slaves to surrender. Despite the apparent lack of formal military training among Spartacus's forces, they showcased remarkable ingenuity. Making the most of the local materials at their disposal, Spartacus' men ingeniously employed vines and trees from the slopes of Vesuvius to craft ropes and ladders. These improvised tools were then used to rappel down the cliffs on the side of the mountain opposite Glaber's forces. This unexpected move allowed them to navigate around the base of Vesuvius, outflanking Glaber's army and orchestrating a devastating blow that annihilated the besieging Roman forces. The resourcefulness and unorthodox tactics exhibited by Spartacus's forces proved to be a formidable challenge for the disciplined Roman legions under Glaber's command. After the stunning victory at Mount Vesuvius, the rebel forces under Spartacus faced a second Roman expedition led by the praetor Publius Varinius. This time, the Roman forces, commanded by Varinius and his subordinates Furius and Cossinius, aimed to quell the slave revolt. However, the Roman expedition faced internal challenges as Varinius decided to split his forces. Plutarch notes that Furius led around 2,000 men, but the overall strength of Varinius' expedition remains unclear. Whether the forces were composed of militia or legions is shrouded in historical ambiguity. The result, however, is unequivocal. The Roman forces were defeated by Spartacus's army. Cossinius fell in battle, Varinius narrowly escaped capture, and the rebels seized the military equipment of the defeated armies. These victories bolstered the ranks of the Spartan forces as more slaves rallied to their cause. The allure of freedom and the success of their previous engagements attracted not only slaves, but also many of the herdsmen and shepherds of the region. The rebel army swelled to an impressive 70,000, a formidable force that spent the winter of 73 to 72 BC consolidating their gains. During this period, the rebel slaves focused on training, arming, and equipping their new recruits. Their raiding territory expanded to include the towns of Nola, Nuceria, Thurii, and Metapontum. The victories, however, came at a cost. Oenomaus, one of the leaders of the rebellion, was lost, presumably in battle, and his name fades from the annals of history during these events. As the rebels regrouped and strengthened their forces, the Roman authorities faced the escalating threat of Spartacus and his ever-expanding army. The stage was set for the next chapter in this saga, the Battle of Picenum.
On this channel, we are putting together narrative historical cinematic battles. Make sure to subscribe and thank you for watching. See you on the next one.